Stuff my face with bread, with breasts, with a shoulder of a friend, with a corner of a desk, with communion, with a yes, and I tell you.
Welcome back to Pretty Much Experts. I'm Robert John. Beside me got Skyler, fucking ripping bongs.
There's like a fucking pube or a cat hair in my bong. I can't tell what it is.
And there's Mike over in the van, repping Chain Whip, baby.
Chain whip.
Chain Whip. Chain Whip.
Straight gangster.
Fucking straight gangster. Thank you, Bike Thieves, for that banger of an intro. Bike Thieves rules. Download that song, Third Wife, on Spotify. They got a bunch of albums out. They fucking rad. Rad Toronto punk band. Thank you, Bike Thieves.
Thank you.
Yeah, dig in. It's all good.
So, quarantine, boys.
Yeah.
How we doing? How's it? Mike living in the van.
What the fuck was that?
It's my fucking
my
phone. I
thought.
No, van life's fucking normal, dude. Everything's like completely normal. Oh, there's
Chooch
making an
surprise
appearance.
Van life is completely normal, and work life is completely normal.
Hasn't changed a bit.
It's changed in a few ways that I've had to adapt to, and the big one is my gym is officially closed.
No.
Yeah. And that happened about 2 weeks ago, but I managed to bum a shower from a friend.
Should we say that for the non-regular listeners, if you're just thinking like, oh, Mike looks like a portly fella, like I didn't know he went to the gym. He doesn't actually use the gym for its exercising capabilities. He just goes to shower and use their toilets, their facilities.
Yeah.
Right?
Just fucking wrap myself in paper and call it a day.
So,
yeah, I love it. Or Jake, get off your phone.
You gotta tell people to stop fucking texting me and use other Instagrams. I'll read them later.
Yeah. He just got a message and it pinged my fucking...
so fucking
I thought
loud
you
in my
had
ear.
like a fucking, those like bike bells? It's like,
it sounds exactly like that.
Yeah.
I thought we...
Those old hand buzzers.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, van life is still ticking along. I've had to adapt. I went and flipped the bill. I actually, about 2 weeks ago when I knew this was ramping up, I went on Amazon and bought a portable shower system, a new one. I have like an old style one that's like a pump jug with a shower head. It's nice when like you have an hour to set up and like boil water and shit, but this one's like its own nice little unit, and it heats the water, it pumps it. All you gotta do is like it's got a built-in battery, so you don't even need power. You just charge it up, flick the switch, throw the fucking pump in a bucket, string up the thing, string up the tarp, fucking take your dick out and have a blast. I put on Troublemaker last night and fucking had Rancid going. I had a doobie just like out between my two doors with the tarp up.
Nice.
Dick out. It was fantastic.
Wow. Your neighbors must love you.
Well, I guess no one's outside. No one can see them.
If you can see me, you're not doing your quarantine properly.
My neighbors are a cat and a skunk and a couple coyotes that I hear off in the distance. Those are my neighbors.
That's good to know.
That's cute.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not the loudest or the smelliest.
Yeah, debatable.
Now that the gyms are closed.
Not after this fucking shower. Yeah, now that the gyms are closed. Debatable.
Oh, fuck. Well, I guess we've had a bit of a... We had somebody close to us that came in contact with the COVID. So
yeah, shit got real.
We had to lock down in our home.
And like, I don't like being locked down fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But like no notice. Like that was the hard part.
That was the hard part.
Like on like a last episode we talked about going out like with your roommate and like she just wanted vegetables and shit and we made fun of her.
Yeah.
So we did go out and get some like non-perishables like just in case. But then to be hit with Monday morning, like, oh, this is the in case.
Yeah.
Like, no leaving the house.
You need a week's worth of shit.
Yeah, but it's just like, you can't leave the house starting now. It's not like, okay, tomorrow, like, you're not allowed out anymore, so, like, go get more beer, go get more food, go do what you gotta do. It was like, the day's already started. Like, oh, P.S., like, you're not allowed out anymore, government mandated lockdown.
Yeah.
Hope you got enough food and beer. And it sucked. Yeah. It was hard. We didn't have enough beer.
Well, you think you're going to, right? Like, I would imagine. It's like going to the cottage. Obviously, a more extreme version of that. But it's like, you know, we're going for 4 days. I mean, let's say 4 days to the cottage. And it's like, I know I'm going to need half a case of beer each day, plus a bottle of something, plus Carolyn's in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was that,
I'm going to need at least a box of pancakes and 2 cartons of eggs.
Hey, Mike, we all know how to cottage.
There, it's like, oh, shit, I'm out of beer. I'm out of beer on the
That's
second
what
day.
happened. It's
you
like,
know,
we each had like a flat of beer, and it's like, that's plenty for a fucking week. Like, that can last way longer. But if we're both just home all day, it's like, we're just going to day drink and drink 7, 8 a day, like casually. Yeah. And now that flat of beer's gone in 3 days, and it's Wednesday. And we've only been in the house since Monday. Like, this is fucked.
And now you're fully sick.
Yeah, and
now you fully got
trying to, like, reach out to, like, what are ways we can get more beer. And it's just, like, due to quarantine, it was so hard.
Dude, I gave you the fucking
I know. We called Dial a Bottle, and they're just they don't have the Interact and all that was down. It was cash only. Which we're technically not even allowed to do that. Like, we're not allowed to have contact. Yeah. Like,
No. Well, you could like put money in a bag.
I was gonna break it anyway. Like, fuck them. Like, you know, we're gonna.
Yeah. Well, open the door. You can open the door.
We're technically not allowed to do that. Like, if we did order a bucky, we did order a bucky of KFC, and it's just like, leave it on the step, and we'll grab it after you go.
Yeah.
Like, because we're under quarantine, we're not allowed.
We're quarantined.
Yeah, so that was fine, because that's all through, like, you know, online payment, skip the dishes. Yeah. But, like, to order beer, you have to actually greet the guy so that they know you're not a kid.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck it, we'll do that.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, oh, it's cash only. You know, our server's overwhelmed. And it's like, I don't have $80 of cash on me.
What the hell is
Who
cash?
the fuck has cash?
Yeah. I do, baby. Cash is king.
Well, okay. But even now, it's like a lot of places aren't even like taking cash now.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought. Like, people weren't taking cash anymore, which I thought was a federal offense, personally. But that's, I guess it's desperate times.
What are we?
Our money's fucking plastic for a reason. Yeah. Wash that shit.
I remember the quick sidebar. I remember one time, like, for a Bunts game, I like scrounged together like $3 or whatever from my change in my truck, which was kind of grimy,
full of old coffee.
Right? It was grimy. I'll give you that. Like, it wasn't bad. It was gross though, right? And I scrounged it all up and went in and got like 2 beers for the game. And gave the guy, put the money on the table, and it was quarters and dimes. Like, it wasn't like this.
Don't pay for anything in dimes.
Anyways.
Like, what's wrong with you?
It was like $4. But he gave me gears and just like, what am I supposed to do with this? And I was like, I was flabbergasted. Yeah, I was just like, put it in your till and give me the goods for the currency. Mm-hmm. Right? And he didn't want to touch it, and I was just like, can I put it in your till? Like, I'll count it in front of you.
How dirty was this money?
It wasn't that dirty. Like, it was...
It must be pretty dirty for him to look down at that and be like, what the fuck is all over this?
It was medium dirty.
It's grime.
Dude, I know what you mean. If you go into my fucking cup holder right now, there's a couple cigarette butts, chewed up piece of gum that I thought went out the window, and like a week's worth of coffee spilled all over my change.
I used to have like...
It's disgusting.
It's like I had one whole cup holder that was full of change, and then the other one was empty for my coffee. And there would be spillover. Like, it wasn't like it was sitting in it, right?
Is.
You know, so... Yeah. Judge me if you want.
And then it gets on the money, and all the money turns green.
I thought this was Canada, goddamn.
It was free country.
I thought it was Canada, where we all drank our Hortons and spilled it on our change.
I'm sorry, that's free country.
Like, that's why we got rid of the penny, because all the dirty money.
And back to our money's plastic for a reason. Yeah. Wash that shit off and take it.
Yeah.
Take it.
Run it under hot water.
Run it under hot water.
Wear fucking gloves and don't touch your face.
Spray it in bleach or whatever the hell you're supposed to do now.
Yeah. Just put it in a, like, don't even touch it.
I've been breaking all the rules.
Yeah.
Shit. I've been paying with cash. I've been touching my face. I've been going to work. Fucking, I go to the grocery store every day. I know it seems irresponsible, but at this point, I don't have it. So it's really, I'm just putting myself in danger.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So fuck yourself. You know, like, I got to do what I got to do.
Well, I mean,
and if I get it, like, for me, the quarantine's actually going to be quite a predicament because I use public bathrooms a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
And I got to go get water, which I can go across the street and get some that's questionable. But, like, I like to go and actually fill my jug up with, like, clean ozone
that's
water.
fair, yeah.
That's
That's
fair.
your basic human right, I think.
Basic right.
Yeah, but if I'm fucking if I got to self-quarantine because I'm legit sick, what do
I
you
don't
do?
know.
You know, like, I put a scarf on and fucking
I
do
think
my
you
best.
know what, you're right. If you got the sickness, you lose all your basic human rights.
I'm fucked. I'm fucked. If I get it, I'm fucked. Like, I'm probably not gonna die because my will is like,
my will to live is
just incredible.
Stronger than the will to die.
It's strong as fucking the will. But yeah, I'm fucked for like all of the things that I need, like that I can't provide myself. I mean, I go shit in the grass and drink the hose water, but it's like
Can't eat that. Yeah.
you know. Yeah. Ooh. Food wise,
Well, you got some.
Up,
Yes, you got
like,
bananas there. You're just gonna have to ration.
oh, dude, I got peanut butter for days. I got fucking bananas and canned
Yeah,
goods.
if you
I'm fucking
just dip your
sad.
bananas in your peanut butter and eat one of those a day, you could sustain a 14-day quarantine.
I got 6 bananas. Yeah, I mean, I got a week out of these, but I'm fine.
You might have to be drinking your piss by the end.
You're
of
the
it.
ones quarantined right now.
Yeah, for like
well,
another
you know?
couple hours. I guess I don't know.
Are you going to
Yeah,
work?
I gotta go to work.
Are you going back to
tomorrow.
work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
RJ, are you back too?
I have to call my boss tomorrow and say, yeah. So, like, last Monday, our friend was like, someone I'm in contact with just tested positive, so, like, you guys are on lockdown due to, like, my connection. And it's like, fuck. So we, like, both had to, like, talk to our bosses and, like, we're not allowed to go to work. But now that friend has come back clean, so we're allowed to return. So I'm going to talk to my boss tomorrow and be like, I'm allowed to come back, but I don't know if I'll be able to get back on the schedule this week. It might take a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can go to work.
But if as long as you know,
it'll be nice to, like...
well, you guys aren't going out. You're not spending money,
No.
like,
There's
you
nothing to
can-
do. So,
No.
yeah. That first day of, like, fuck, financials. But it's also like, well, I'm not actually spending any fucking money.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting at home.
Well, you can apply on Thursday for the, what do you call it? Fucking
yeah, I'm gonna
emergency
try and
thing
not
now.
do that. I'm gonna wait till that's an actual
No, of course,
emergency.
you try not
'cause
to, but if
at the end of the day,
shit
like,
rolls
fuck
over,
the government.
you're eligible as of Thursday.
I don't want to, like, shit. I just feel like a little
No,
bit
I
of a
don't want that
hypocrite.
shit
Like,
either.
I talk shit constantly. I refuse to vote, like, up and down. But then soon as it's like, oh shit, my bank account, let me get that government handout.
Well, also,
like, I'm just like,
that's what they want from us.
yeah.
They want a fucking leash on us.
Yeah,
right?
like, I don't want that paper trail. I don't want to, like, I took $900 from you.
Oh, bud.
Yeah. See, I'm set up in a way. I've set myself up nice the last couple of years where I don't have to rely on anyone
you're in a
financially.
Yeah,
I'm
you got
like-
the van.
I'm in a good spot, but
Yeah.
But if I'm 6 months off work or even
That's
3
it.
months off work because of all
That's
this
an
bullshit,
that's an issue.
for sure,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and get my $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
they're,
yeah.
that they're
And
giving
that's
out
where
to
I'm with
veterans,
you
know?
on that.
So-
Like, if it's an emergency, I'll look into it.
Yeah.
But if it's like I've been off work a week, like, I'm not fucking giving you my social insurance
no.
number. Like, get out of here.
no.
Yeah, no one's.
No, because then they got my address.
No,
and they can come
no,
get me
no,
for my
no.
student loans.
No.
You know,
Exactly.
like, fuck all that.
Exact. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the nose.
yeah. Yeah. That's why I haven't filed taxes for 2 years.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. It's a whole thing.
Oh, it's all unraveling on public radio. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not including
Fuck
them in
'em,
shit.
Fuck them. If you don't have to call for the emergency
No.
thing, they won't figure it out for a
I
couple
can be
more.
okay being out of work a week. Maybe 2. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, a week's
if we're
fine,
going
2
into
weeks is
like
fine,
we're going into like
but-
May or June without like then I'll like talk to
They're
Mr.
saying-
Trudeau.
They're saying these
Oh,
days
yeah.
it's like they're saying like prepare for July. Like,
Yeah, but
I don't
is
know.
that I have an essential job.
Yeah, so do
Like,
I,
I'm basically a
fucking asshole.
Everyone's essential.
I'm-
How the fuck does that work?
I'm basically a hero. We
Yeah.
both are.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You don't have to look
We're
me in the eye and
frontline
tell me
workers
that. Yeah.
right now.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Jesus Christ.
Moving houses
And
is essential.
entertainers.
Oh, right.
You know what? I would say out of the three of us, RJ is the most essential and also the one that's definitely going to get it. Because you're in direct contact with
All
people.
day. And every
You
day
know,
it's a different work crew.
You work at a fucking factory, like, you know, in your
There's
own shipping
9 fucking
area
people work
and,
there.
and production area.
Yeah.
I'm basically on 2 or 3 floors of new construction with just my crew, which used to be 20 guys. Now it's down to 8
Yeah.
because everyone's chosen to self-quarantine or have gotten sick. So that's a real thing. But, you know, like RJ for sure is the one that's going to fucking is the most essential and is
I'm gonna get
definitely
sick
going to
for
get it
sure.
first.
But I wonder how essential moving companies will be by May.
They're not essential.
No,
it's a
okay,
full
yeah.
luxury.
No,
like
okay,
at the end,
I'm aware of that. They're
no,
not.
but
right?
I think it is more of an... okay,
like last week I was
You
on...
can move yourself is what you're saying.
You can
Move
move.
your
Last
fucking
week
self.
I was on a move before I got locked down.
Yeah.
And we get there, and it's like some little old lady, and that's cute. Like, okay, yeah, this old lady is moving. She can't do it alone.
Yeah.
But the whole time she's talking about her sons and her grandchildren are going to come help unpack. So, like, just put the boxes anywhere. So it is like...
They could be doing
if this service didn't exist,
yeah.
like
She
you would
does
reach
have-
out to family to do this for you.
Now, you
like
can't-
this is
Yeah,
not.
they would.
That's the definition of like need and a want.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
like if
but-
you need to move and you can't, like you know people that will do it.
Now you can't judge all old people
I
by this
can.
one old lady that does have grandchildren to help her.
Yeah.
Right? I understand the need that like some people can't do that. Right?
They can't.
Some people cannot move themselves. They need help moving.
Yeah.
My argument is that, for instance, when I bought this basement home that we're in right
This
now,
bachelor pad.
we bought it
Fuck
in March.
dungeon.
Like we pulled the
Masturbation cave,
we
whatever you
signed-
want to call
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I've seen the fucking glory hole you put in.
Yeah, there's a glory hole, whatever.
So, what I'm trying to say though is, I understand moving people. What I'm trying to say is, we pulled triggers on it in March, and we didn't actually move until June.
Yeah.
So that's like 3 months, right?
Yeah.
So, the way this all came on so quickly, the same way that like we're saying we kind of didn't really have a whole lot of food for like our pending quarantine.
Right.
Like there are people that probably still have moving dates in the future.
Yeah.
But like, how far into the future do you think that is before moving?
Yeah,
It's like,
people
who's-
aren't buying houses.
People
right now.
aren't buying houses on the 1st of April.
No.
Like nobody's going to an open house.
And like,
I'm saying this thing starts to turn around before that's a real concern. Like if people are moving in July, it's like they're gonna move in July. The fucking service will be there.
like they'll still
I
do
think
it,
this
but it's
thing's
gonna
gonna turn
definitely
around.
slow down.
It'll slow down. For
Like
sure.
I've worked at this moving job since the end of November, and the whole time I was there in the winter, everyone's like, "This is slow season. Like nobody moves in the winter," and it's like rightly so. This is the worst job of all time. It's so fucking cold out. But in the spring, that's like the kickstart because everyone's moving out of their like student housing and they go back home. So like that's the beginning, and then the summer's like everyone moves. So like just hold tight if you can make it through the winter and through this like grind of like this is Ice Road Truckers' version of this job. Like it sucks.
Yeah.
The spring is like easy moving and you're gonna be busy all day and you make all kinds of money. But because this started, a lot of the students are not living on campus, on residence. They're not doing that anymore. They've all moved back, but they still have the lease until May. Kind of the way that you and your roommate moved. It's
Yeah.
like, instead of like, we have to be out by May 31st,
Yeah.
move it all in one day, we need a mover.
That's true.
It's like, since March break, they've just been doing like weekend trips, grabbing a couch at a time.
Okay.
So like it slows down like crazy. Like the people are still moving, but there's no like rush that we have to be out on the last day, one big party before we go. Like all that's over.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like our big it's a busy spring is like March was dead as fuck.
Yeah.
April, there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
June.
Well, unless people are probably counting on the service now,
Well,
too, where
it's-
they're just like, okay, well, we just assume that that's not going to be a thing. We'll deal with it ourselves.
Yeah, I think there's still the people that need it, like I was saying, like that old lady. But then when you like really like get to
for sure.
know her and talk to her, it's like you don't need this service. Like
No.
people that will do it for you.
It's just convenient.
It's convenient.
Yeah, she's in more need than the
Yeah.
average person.
She
but
doesn't
it's
need
still just
it.
A convenience. that
Yeah,
you're paying
need
for.
is like if I don't do this, I'm fucked. When she's not,
No.
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah, like if you guys were hired to move fucking ventilators into hospitals,
that'd
that
be
would
different,
be more of
right?
an
For
essential
sure.
service,
Yeah.
right?
It's
Yeah.
the same like here in Ontario. They just closed all like non-essential construction, and like they've really cracked down on it. It's like, hey, if you're not,
Yeah, but what
Well,
is
so,
that,
like,
dude?
that's-
for
'Cause I'm in the
instance-
construction
Yeah.
industry, and
no, you're right.
I'm not
But
being...
I
What's
look at first
non-essential?
of all,
Like,
I don't
what-
fucking know. I'm just pretty much an expert. Okay,
I don't know. I'm trying to
That's the
figure it
point
out
of this
too.
show.
What I've heard is they like in Ontario alone, like there's a new hospital going in Vaughan. Like they're building it as
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
speak. That
Yeah,
it's
that's
like, okay,
essential.
that kind of shit.
For
Like
sure.
we're not
That's-
gonna stop doing.
That's obvious.
I think road
Yeah.
maintenance
Yeah.
is something that you can still do.
Road maintenance or like service work if there's like an issue with a gas line
Yeah.
or a water line or electrical, like there's got to be service side
But like,
of the
and
industry.
I think though there's a level too of like, what about these buildings downtown Toronto that are in the middle of like either, like, do you just leave them completely on?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do. Because that's essentially what I'm working on, like the last
Yeah.
couple weeks. And I've been digging holes. I've been backfilling pipe that we've laid.
Laying
I've
pipe,
been
baby.
putting
I'm
up
doing
cast
that
iron
too.
stacks.
I haven't. Corgi.
Yeah, baby,
Cordy,
digging holes,
Cordy,
laying
backfilling that
Cordy.
wall.
Yeah.
Fucking putting some backfill right between those fucking drywalls.
Yeah. You'll notice there's no.
But
duct
I
tape
mean, like,
behind it
what
either,
I'm
right?
doing is non-essential.
yeah, I guess we could. Yeah.
What I'm doing though is non-essential, right?
Yeah.
Like I shouldn't have to, and that side of the industry shouldn't be made to go to work every day with the current,
No.
with the climate of things.
No. I don't
I'm
think
happy
so.
to have a job. I do like it. It's a new job. I've been enjoying it, but it's what I'm doing is non-essential. They have to start drawing lines in the sand for all these things because the blanket construction's essential. All fucking care workers are essential. Like, you know, there's people like that might necessarily, like, either their skill set could be used somewhere else, or they should just be allowed to be out of harm's way without being like slapped on the pee-pee
Yeah.
for it.
But see, like, I'm in the essential service category because I'm part of like a supply chain, right? Like it's
Yeah, a production and
Yeah.
supply chain. Yeah.
Like,
But are you though? Like, would the fucking world stop spinning if there wasn't
So,
filters
that's
for
the
paint booths?
Now,
the
again-
point where you're at now, where it's
Yeah.
like you are essential because there's places in the States that are like, we need to keep working,
yeah.
and the States is
Yeah.
fucked. But once
Yeah.
that actually is
Yeah,
like,
but do those places need to
are
keep
they
working,
essential
you
or are
know?
they just in business still?
So like now, I don't
They're
want
just
to
in
get
business.
into like
Yeah.
business stuff.
Do it.
But like I've been told
Show
that,
your dick.
No, but I've been told that like there's at least I know of at least two.
Make a new hole.
There's at least two businesses that have reached out to like where I work saying that they've been deemed essential services in the States.
In the States, it's fucked. though.
Right?
Yeah.
And they rely on our product to keep their employees safe. So we have to keep that supply chain open and to put them to the front of the line kind of thing, right? And it's like I get it. I totally get it, but like how about we just like send you guys like 2 skids worth of shit?
Yeah.
And if you need more, call us, and we can go back and make more.
Yeah, but we
It's-
don't need to be here all day, every day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
banging out production, like. But that's just
Yeah,
my
but
opinion.
the thing is, like, when it comes to like the work environment, like all 3 of our jobs, like we're really only, well, RJ is the exception because you're dealing with other people's
All
shit,
day.
yeah,
you know, and Rue, like, you're dealing with truck drivers
I don't
coming
do
and
with
stuff,
any
and like
any kind of receiving
we
really
don't
at
deal
all
with any of
anymore.
that. But basically, but they're coming to the shop in the warehouse. Still,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
people-
Yeah,
there's, but the exposure's so limited going to work that it's like I don't actually feel unsafe or anything. But if this thing continues to ramp up and people keep freaking out and this thing continues to spread and like not and like unrelenting about the whole fucking contraction and all this shit, like then this shit is actually non-essential.
Yeah.
And every minute that we spend out of the house or out of our environment that we've created is potentially putting us at risk of contracting this shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, there's gonna have to be a line in the sand, or I don't know. We're all probably gonna get it, and that's what's gonna need to happen. Is we're just need to build up our own antibodies by contracting it, and there'll probably be a lot of deaths as a result. But
you can minimize the deaths and be like, oh, it's only 2%, but that is still a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If you think of every time you got sick, there's a 2% chance you die. It's no, it's not. The flu is 0.1% chance, and everyone's like, oh, 100,000 people die a year of the flu, but it's because 200 million people fucking get it.
Yeah.
Versus this is 2% of everyone that gets it dies, and one of our relatives has it right now, and
no
it's
symptoms either.
No symptoms, but probably giving it to someone else in the same house.
Yeah.
That's there's a 2% chance either of them die this week, and that's kind of fucked.
Whoa.
But that's what I mean.
Is that the odds?
It is.
Yeah, okay.
That's kind of fucked.
Well, no, but again, the numbers and the stats are bullshit. You really have to get into it. It's 2% across the board, but age demographics,
they're both
bring
above
it down
65.
tenfold.
Yeah,
let's be real.
That's gonna
bumping it up. Yeah,
above
it's fucked.
65 in general gives you a 1.5% chance of dying in your home, anyways.
I know, but that's okay.
Yeah.
If you
and
use
also,
a microwave,
there's all these other deaths.
Yeah, if you use a microwave, there's a 0.3% chance you could die. If you drive a car, there's a % chance. It's day to day, there is a chance you could die doing everything. But this is a very specific, big word for someone that's 3 beers in.
Yeah. Teach me more.
There's a very, this week
Dr.
of,
Science.
our relative just tested positive yesterday. Mm-hmm. There's a 2% chance that they go this week, even though they're not showing symptoms.
Yeah.
It's that's pretty fucking heavy when you think about it in those terms.
Listen,
what are you doing this week that there's 100% a 2% chance you die?
Going to work?
Yeah, but what is?
I don't know, walking across the street.
Yeah, but it's weird when you're confronted with
Kevin's
that.
bullshit.
Yeah, Kevin's bullshit or his goddamn vegetables.
Yeah,
you get salmonella off of fucking lettuce.
Get salmonella like the rest of us.
Yeah, I'm saying, there is a chance you die. Everything you do. But when you're looked at the hard numbers of if you drove to work today, there's a 1% chance you die. You're not really faced with that every time you do it. You just do it at a routine.
Yeah.
So just having the numbers oh wow, this is weird.
But it's because everything's so new and there's no infrastructure in place to deal with the fallout and all this crap that's been going on. In 5 years, or maybe 10 or whatever it takes, maybe sooner, hopefully sooner, there will be enough infrastructure and information and possibly medication to fucking just make this the seasonal cold, right? Or something that comes around every few years. We just need time. We're freaking out because it's new, it's rapid, and it's fucking, the numbers are driving everybody crazy because it is alarming. When you put it on paper, it's alarming. Yeah. But the big picture is, it's going to take years for this whole thing to get sorted out.
Yeah.
And the people who need to be working on it are, as far as we're told.
Allegedly.
Right? Allegedly.
Yeah.
Oh, Corona cough, I heard it.
Even though,
it's already here.
It's been there for years, dude.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm patient zero.
It's the big Darth Vader reveal.
I just think that,
he already has.
I just think, we are... It's not. I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal as we think when we look back in the year. Obviously, it's serious for some people and in some demographics, and it will unfortunately probably cause problems for a lot of people we know. But
I know.
I would say it's not a big
the fear
deal.
is going to
I
subside.
feel 2 years from now, 3 years from now, you will look back and be remember 2020 when no one fucking left their house? This is going to be a marker in your life.
Yeah. Well, I just mean I saw a weird thing the other day, and I thought when I read the headline in the article, it was I scoffed at it.
Yeah.
But it basically said, that more people in the States right now have died from coronavirus than Americans died on American soil during World War II. So that's it. Like I scoffed
like
at
4
it,
people died.
but it was still just like okay, like Pearl Harbor, right? It was a big, I don't know how many people died there, but that's what like I think the article was just this stupid headline like that. What
article.
the fuck, like. But it's still like worldwide. When you get out of the picture of just like, well, in Ontario, there's only like 30 people that are dead, or 90, I think we're at now, maybe over 100. It's like if you actually zoom out and think of the whole world, like there's something stupid like 20% of the world right now is under lockdown.
Yeah.
8 billion people on the world planet, and 20% of them are locked in there. Not locked in, but are under a quarantine order. How many? And like the numbers of people that are dead are already. It's like hundreds of thousands of people have already died from this. Like this, when this is over. It's like people are gonna look back on this and be like, "Wow!" Like a lot of the people, a percentage of the Earth's population is gone because of something that we can't even see.
It's gonna be crazy, man.
It's plague-like.
It's just
shit.
starting. It's just starting. We're still like weeks away from it.
Like
peaking.
I'm hopeful, Mike, like you, when you're saying like I think it's not gonna kind of be that big a deal. But it's also
I think the fear will
the
go away.
hindsight of it. It's like it's hard right now for me to get there, just because we are so fucking like. Even when you think it's like, well, we've been under quarantine now as a province for like 3 weeks. Yeah, it's like but it's still like we're not.
No one's actually really doing it.
No, but for one,
well,
it's like
we are.
It's like. It's 60-40, I think. I think
everyone's trying a little.
I think Ontario's buying into it, but I think again it's just hard to like. What's the line?
Yeah, but I mean the bars are closed and there's no shows, there's no events.
I feel like everyone I know is buying into it, but that is also like that's a very like shielded or like whatever small like I don't know outside of my like friend window. Yeah, but like everyone I know is doing it. Even before it was like full lockdown, like I was in Toronto at my friend's house and like we'll just lock down here together. Yeah, and during that week it was like Go Transit like announces like we're doing essential service only. It's like fuck.
The point I was trying to make is just that
stuck
like
here.
Again like you think like we're 3 weeks into it, but if you remember like 3 weeks ago they told the schools in Ontario to shut down for 3 weeks. Yeah. So we're at that point where the kids are supposed to go back to school tomorrow. Back, and they're not now. They're not, no. They just pushed it back. So like even 3 weeks ago, you know what I mean? It's all
a
just
rolling
like,
line.
Yeah. When we're told right now that it's July, like don't be surprised
don't plan
when
on August 1st.
June comes and they're just like, hey, no, this is going into September.
Yeah, and that's all part of the growing pains.
Yeah.
That's all part of the growing pains. That's going to happen. They're still trying to figure everything out, and they're also trying not to freak everybody out. I wouldn't say that the world's governments are withholding information, but they have to be a little bit.
A little bit.
What we're hearing is definitely only a side of the story. I don't know what percentage, but it's only a side of it, you know? And
I don't want to get into
what's going on behind the scenes.
And not to get into like too conspiracy
but that's
shit.
what's gonna come. That's what's gonna come to a head within the next couple weeks when we get the whole story and it constantly and as it unfolds. You know, that's when things are gonna like really hit a tipping point.
Yeah,
And I think the level of fear is going to go down. People are going to be more prepared. They're going to be making,
we're definitely
more measures.
In a shock and awe still of it all. That I think by the end of April, people are going to be like, again, I'm fucking like naive. My naivete is showing right now. But it's just like, hopefully by the end of April, if everyone, like, it's just new, it's different, it's change, and it's taken people a little bit longer to embrace it than they should. Yeah. But I think by the end of April, like, people will be in that routine of, like, you know,
at least this won't feel so weird. Like, you're kind of like, oh no, this is just the new normal. Yeah. I was going to say, though, like, not to get full conspiracy, even though we love a good conspiracy on this show. I'm a huge fan of, like, reading YouTube comments and, like, Facebook comments and just, like, deep diving. Yeah. And there's, like, a real concern that whatever projections you keep reading, like, oh, this many people are sick, that means that many people will dead, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, all these models are based partly on what's going on in China. Ground zero.
Well, yeah.
And you can't fucking trust China. No. Like, I'm not trying... This is not a fucking culture thing. This is not a race thing. It's a political thing. That's a communist country.
The government.
That is a government thing. This is a politics thing.
It's not the people.
It's a
the
government thing. Yeah. So if they're saying this many people died, they are lying.
Yeah.
It's more than that. I'm not saying like it's above and beyond anything you can imagine, but the
it
numbers
could be infinitely more than that.
The numbers are not accurate.
Yeah.
So just basing all those projection models off what happened in China from December to February, it's inaccurate.
Yeah.
Like I think even
it's inaccurate.
We saw that video of like
agree.
I think it was you and I, it might have been Kevin as well, that where it was like an interview with a guy, an expat that was living in China. It was like a year ago where he was like like talking to somebody about how he just had this crazy wicked like virus disease. And like, but he's recovered from it, but like it's fucked, and no one in China's talking about this virus that's going around.
Right.
And it was like a month and a half to 2 months before the first time China was like, we're experiencing this weird outbreak. We have like 100
there's
people.
Like 60 people are sick or something.
But it's like, no, there's people that's already had it and like recovered from it.
And people that have died and you just classify it as pneumonia. That was kidney failure. That was respiratory, whatever. Like, the numbers aren't accurate.
Exactly. Russia's doing that same shit
Russia
now.
has 0 cases still.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Of course they do. Just line them up, dig the hole, and line them up.
And I'm not trying to say, in no way is like everyone's doomed and there's been a million. Like, it's not that.
No.
But just, if China's saying there's, like 30,000 people died, that's not the right number.
No.
I don't know if that means it's 40,000 or it's 100,000 or it's 2 million. I don't know. But whatever they're saying, that's not the number.
Yeah. No.
So just building all these models based on what happened in China is like not accurate.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
No, I agree. Fuck yeah. And that's what I'm saying about the numbers. It's like it only tells a part of the story. Yeah. And like to base all of our fear and opinions off these numbers, it's like we can only do that for so long because things are just going to unfold naturally. Yeah. You know, and the governments are hopefully going to get ahead of it with all this fucking bullshit that they're, talking about every day. It's like they're trying. Now this virus is it's gonna do what it does, and we're gonna try and fucking, slow it down. But it'll be weeks from now where we're all like, there's a tipping point, and it's gonna eventually get better for everybody.
I hope so.
Like granted, we probably won't be, congregating in any large capacity for maybe a year. We just don't know.
I think so.
But that's small potatoes compared to how likely it is we're even going to contract this. So like that's the first step. And I think weeks from now, when there is that tipping point and all the cards are on the table, or like most of the cards are on the table, a couple jokers up the fucking sleeve or whatever they say, but it's like we're all gonna have a chance to calm down a little bit and actually readjust and actually get fucking shit figured out. And if they tell us it's 2 full weeks mandatory, you can only go out to get groceries, fucking the very essential services, like I got a bunch of shit to do around here. I got 2 new roof vents that need to go in the van.
Oh yeah.
I got fucking I got tires I want to put on the rims and mount. I got brakes I want to do. Like I can get all that shit done.
I got a hole in my foundation
give
right here
weeks.
and a hole in our drywall.
Multiple holes
in the drywall that I was hoping to fix this
We
spring.
know that's the fuck shack part of the house.
Should we shift gears a little bit and like get off this depressing topic,
please,
and switch gears to like some of the fun antics that we've gotten into
quarantine
life. Not overly fun, but
pretty funny.
It's been a pretty fun time. I'm ready to go back to work for sure, but it's like, so either way, I feel like one of the very first days that we were locked down, it was a really windy day, but it was hot out. It was warm here, so we opened up all the windows, like wanted to get some fresh air in the home.
Kevin,
right? And
Kevin. The rest of us want to be at a fucking reasonable temperature. Kevin wants a full goddamn blast through the room,
creating so much vacuum. But either way, so we're sitting downstairs, about to settle in, watch some.
You're drawing the Corona.
Yeah, I know, right?
And we're sitting downstairs, and we hear this loud fucking bang, right? And it's like, well, it must have just been one of the doors upstairs, like got sucked shut really hard. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
So Kevin goes upstairs and comes back down and is just like, we might have a problem. And we go upstairs and here's a little insight to my shitty home that we have bought.
Wow.
I think it was supposed to be for like student housing at one point. They wanted it to be where every room upstairs, and even RJ's room here
Yep.
downstairs has like their own individual lock on the doors with individual keys
yes.
for all of them.
Every room has keys.
And we were given these.
It's either student housing or a fucking full.
Yeah, or like some Amy Smart shit.
It's
you know?
the others. It's Nicole Kidman house.
Ooh.
It's motel.
Ooh. There's plenty of holes in my room.
Yeah, I'm just up in the attic jerking off at everybody. Damn it. But so, either way, doors closed. But so somehow in the process of this door getting slammed, it has now locked itself, and we also can't find the key for it, and. It's not that big a deal, except that like we refer to it.
Is the cat in there?
No, the cat wasn't in there.
Cat's let
but it's
fuck outside of it.
It's her washroom basically. Like that's where her litter box is. So, like we have to get in there,
You
and
have
so we went
cat.
full
Get
fucking
rid
like
of it.
Fallout on it, and looked up some tutorials online, like how do you pick locks, and me and Kevin took us about an hour and a half with a clothespin. We got a clothespin and like turned it into an L.
Yeah.
And then we got a paper clip and kind of fashioned it into like a little hook. And we fucking, the trick is you got to like stick it in and apply some leverage.
You got to hit all the
and
pins,
you got to knock
right?
all the pins up, just like in the video games. And it's like, baby, I've been doing this for years.
Yeah.
And so finally, after an hour and a half, I fucking got the whole doorknob off with the hammer.
Of course.
And then I got a screwdriver and had to fucking like bang through the lock still and just knock the doorknob off the other side. But still, I've lost this screwdriver. Like I have to sit down and try to get the screwdriver out of this lock mechanism that I just completely fucking hammered off. Right, an hour and a half we tried to pick it. I'm not lying to you. And then finally, not lying to you. You gotta believe me.
Finally, just get the fucking mallet
it off, and it was. And you know what? In the midst of all of the quarantine, it's like, all right, well, that's what we're doing today. Like, we're picking this lock. Like, let's go. Beats watching fucking Forensic Files. But then,
may I interject?
I had to do the same thing too.
I just want to quick interject. While this was going on, I felt the need to not help at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he went downstairs and did yoga.
You don't need 6 pairs
of
hands
I'm going to go downstairs and do a workout with my friend.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, I'm just going to be out of the way. I'm going to do some planks and some Russian twists. Like, you guys have fun.
But so in the midst of all this, too...
AKA masturbate.
RJ comes up to me and tells me that, like, in Ireland... It's not uncommon that with all the doors that have locks in the home.
In Ireland, it's the exact same way. Every house is student house. Every fucking door is a lock. I don't know what the point is.
But every lock can open all the doors.
All skeleton key.
Just it's like a skeleton.
It's just some like leftover tradition that every door has a lock, but it's so impractical.
Yeah.
That I don't know. I don't get it. Ireland also has hot and cold or separate taps for some fucking reason. In every sink?
That's in Canada, too.
No, it's a separate tap. There's a hot one and a cold one.
Okay, that's stupid.
So if you want medium, you have...
It has its own spout.
Its own spout. If you want medium, you got to turn them both on and splash the water together in the middle.
It's like having 2 dicks.
It's
fuck off.
Full TikTok R word. It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
Okay.
But that's Ireland. I love Ireland. But that's every... Yeah. Every sink has hot and cold separate spout. You want medium, splash them together in the middle.
Is it one full sink basin?
No, one full sink.
Oh, okay.
2 spouts, 2 nozzles, but the nozzle is only one. Like there's not like hot and cold. It's just.
Do they reach each other? Can you get them right?
Nope. You gotta splash. It's so fucking dumb.
So one hand is freezing cold, the other is scalding hot.
There's no medium. The nozzle only controls like how hard the stream of water is. There's no.
That is
so dumb.
Scalding hot and Arctic cold.
So Ireland's third world.
That's it.
Is what you said.
Every sink, no matter how modern anything.
Second world.
So you didn't tell me this half of the story when you told me.
I'm just telling you, Ireland is fucked.
Yeah. Okay.
So again, in Ireland, every door has a lock on it.
In the home.
But they've realized how annoying that is. So every key just opens every lock.
Yeah. So RJ gave me his key and we tried it, and it fit in the door. But it didn't turn the key, right? So either way, like maybe the next day or the day after, 2
Within
days.
12 hours.
Yeah, within 24 to 36 hours.
You found
No.
No.
We're sitting
Worse.
on the couch again, about to settle in and watch some more Netflix. And RJ comes up and says, like, hey, do you have that key that I gave you the other day for when your door was locked? And I was like, yeah, it's here somewhere. And then he's like, yeah, because I just locked myself out of the room downstairs as well. So now it's instantly like, what the fuck?
By key, do you mean?
Yeah,
hammer?
no. So we went and found the key. I'm
just
positive
doesn't-
it's the key that he gave.
But
me.
it's the same as the one upstairs. Like,
Yeah.
the key goes in the lock, but it doesn't turn.
Just doesn't turn.
It
Doesn't
just-
work.
It's fucking
Yeah.
nonsense.
All of my vehicle keys do that too, because they're all Dodges. I can put
Yeah.
every key in fucking every lock, but
Doesn't push
it
the
won't
goddamn
engage.
So,
pins
like, at
properly.
some point, whoever had this house before you bought 3, 5 locks, how many doors there are, all from the same place, and it's like the Dodge key. It's like they're all the same cut or whatever, but they are completely mixed up.
Yeah.
Because
But-
the key that's been in my door since I got here that I've never locked apparently doesn't go to that door.
Doesn't even work.
Doesn't
yeah.
go to that door.
So good to know. But so this time at least we had enough sense that we just knocked a hole.
We didn't waste much time.
No, not at all. It was like, oh, it's locked. Key doesn't work. All right, well,
Burrow.
got the hammer, and this time instead of knocking the whole doorknob
Yeah.
off,
Just
we just put a hole in the
glory hole,
drywall
baby.
right
You
here.
see it?
Everyone's
So you
watching.
could reach.
Fucking
Yeah.
slammed the hammer into the wall once to weaken, and then Street Fighter punch. So it's a full arm width
Nice.
right
Yeah.
through.
And then just
Nice.
reach. It's a good thing you didn't punch the fucking fridge that's there.
Yeah, I was worried I was gonna punch something. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just- you
Or
gotta
there's
take your
electrical
shot.
running
Remember when
through
you hit
there,
it
fucking-
when you hit it with the fucking hammer? There's like these pictures here that you can also see. The Captain America comic. There's some other ones that obviously have fallen.
They're
off.
over here now.
Oh yeah, just got smashed off.
They got all smashed off.
But we got in, and it was just like fuck it. Like there's
Well,
already a
that's good.
giant hole on
That's
this
good.
wall. Might as well.
Yeah.
Just don't leave the hammer fucking behind a locked
No,
door.
it's gotta
for
be
the,
yeah.
for the rest of the time you
It's
live
cheaper
there.
to fix
You're gonna
the
have to set
drywall
up
than get a new
hammers
door.
Oh my
strategically
God.
all over the house.
And like the time it took us to bash that fucking it was a lot harder than I
Oh,
thought.
you
it was
guys were
gonna
up
be.
there for so long.
Yeah.
I had quite the workout down
Even
here.
smashing the knob off like didn't work. I did that so wrong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You should have just done the like kick the door in like in the movies.
yeah, because then you break the molding and not the actual.
Yeah,
fucking-
I know that's the
knob-
thing, right? It's like if the
knob
door gets
itself.
fucked, it's fine.
Yeah.
But eventually, like I said, I got a screwdriver and just like popped the lock through itself, I guess. And that was
Yeah,
more efficient
yeah.
than me just like smashing the doorknob with a hammer.
Yeah, because now the door's all fucked
I only
up.
missed once and hit the door and put a minor hole in
Ooh,
it. But,
minor.
so like we need a new door anyways. But whatever. It was a fun day.
I used to live in a cabin. When I was up north in Telqua, and the only windows that opened were they're like huge plate windows, but then that top section would have like one of those like apartment style cranky things,
Oh, yeah.
and it would kind of like fold in on itself, and so you couldn't sneak in any of the windows. If you're locked
no.
out, it's like you're not gonna break a giant pane of glass to get into your house, and you can't crawl in that because it's only held up by a thin frame of wood. So fucking I had to go and like tell the property owner who lived at the back of the property, had to go and get him and be like, dude, like I don't know what to do. Keys are in there, dog's in there. Like I got to go to work, whatever it was, right? So he just went to his fucking shop and grabbed his 20-pound sledge and fucking went over there and did the old axe chop up and over his head. Whoa, bam! Knocked the fucking, like, and just totally demolished his door. Like the whole door just split, like from like toes to nose. The whole door just went, and the fucking knob fucking was all fucked. The molding on the inside was all fucked. It took like a month to get it all fixed afterwards.
Yeah. See, I didn't.
But thank God it was like warmer months.
I wanted to avoid that, right? So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he hit it way too hard, and he hit it in the wrong direction, and just totally fucked the whole door up. Yeah, but it was his shit, so it was like he did it, you know, and like for me to live with that, it's fine. It still kind of latched and still kind of worked, you know, until he actually got a new door cut to size and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking guy.
But Other than that, I don't think we like.
We haven't done shit
I've
all-
been,
yeah.
life's been
We haven't done
fucking.
shit.
Yeah, my life's just been normal,
I see,
dude.
like,
Like,
now-
I started a new job.
Again, maybe
and I've been fucking cooking and fucking.
yeah, like I don't want to
doing my
speak out of
thing
turn,
and-
only because like we only did a week of this quarantine stuff.
How long week?
It sucked. But so
I
I
bet it
don't
will
know
be,
about all
yeah,
the
yeah.
people that have been doing it for months, but like we didn't fucking get into that like TikTok nonsense of dancing with each other or anything stupid.
No, I'm in no like.
Well,
We should like broadcast this for social media kind of person. I'll throw up the odd photo or whatever, but
Yeah.
like, oh, we should make our quarantine everyone's in
Business,
like now.
yeah. No.
I'm gonna punch a hole through this wall, but I'm like, I'm not posting this on social media. Like, no one needs to see this.
No one needs to know about this
No.
until the podcast.
it would have been hilarious.
I could
but
send
at
you
the
the-
same time, it's like it's.
Yeah, like,
No, the more effort you're putting into like telling people like of anything that you're doing that aren't involved or related, it's like the more effort you put into that, it's weakening your character. You know, like you get the shitty end of that as far as I'm
You
concerned.
vain
You know,
piece of shit.
yeah, it's not necessary.
yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
just have fun, live in the moment. Do your
Here's a
thing.
quick gripe at the end of the show. The amount of goddamn Instagram pics I've seen of people photographing their own computer that's divided by like having a 15-way Skype.
Hmm.
Fuck off.
Oh yeah.
Don't you do that for pretty much
Like,
extras
outside
all
of-
the time?
That's
Never
to
seen
like
it.
promote a new show's coming out.
Not my
But if
family.
I'm in a chat with 15 people,
I like those,
Yeah.
by the way.
the Brady Bunch pictures.
I like the ones you do. I've never seen anyone else do it.
I just mean
I've
like,
seen 'em. I know what
okay,
you're
so
talking
like
about.
I have 15 friends. We're all gonna fucking Skype, and my entire screen is Brady Bunched.
Yeah.
Who outside of those 15 people give a shit? Like, if they're not included to the chat,
Yeah.
don't show them.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah,
rude.
point.
Like,
Yeah.
Or,
wow.
like you're gonna be fucking. You're gonna be like telling your other friends that you're not as important.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
don't
like,
fucking
yeah.
post that. Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Like, here's like, oh, Friday night, and there's my like fucking cup of wine, cheersing my 15 friends. I'm gonna
Sorry,
broadcast.
16
That's just fucking
friends.
gay.
That's just rude.
That's just
Yeah.
fucking gay. Get a hobby.
Yeah, that's rude.
You
Get a
fucking-
hobby.
you get- then they get all Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
And they're all like, Marsha,
And now
Marsha,
I'm
Marsha.
immediately like,
right?
why wasn't I invited? Like, why am I seeing this but I'm not invited? Unfriend.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's just life
Oh
though.
my
Fuck,
God.
if I had $1 for every time I got a message of like, oh, saw a picture of people hanging out. Where was my invite? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
I
weren't
don't know.
invited. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like I wasn't malicious.
Yeah.
I didn't
You
go
were-
out of my way to not invite you. You know?
Dude, like we've all forgotten how to like be like what real life is.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
forgot.
we are definitely the last generation that got it. Like riding bikes and being in the forest and digging holes and
Oh,
fucking eating
yeah.
bubble gum. You know,
We knew- we
Like,
had,
fucking-
like-
we are the last people that got to
I
experience.
feel
all
like
that
our
shit.
generation had a cool like 5 to 8 years, but pre-internet.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, when you're like old enough to have fun.
yeah, just as we were old enough, you know.
Like yeah,
Once
like,
Columbine
yeah, like
happened,
pre-teen
Yeah.
to
we
20.
all got the sense of
We
the
got
internet.
internet. Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
we all
internet.
got internet after Columbine.
I don't know that.
Yeah, I think we were like...
You
When-
had
when
internet
the hell
before
was that?
everybody. You fucking your
I
family
did?
loved the internet.
Yeah,
I
your
remember
family
that.
loves internet.
Every time I went over to your fucking your guys' place, you were always interneting.
Dude, do you remember that computer we had in my nan's basement? I don't even know if the screen
Yeah,
worked.
but the internet
okay?
was fucking.
This thing
hot.
was 400 pounds.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't matter. We had a 400.
There was no
There
internet.
was internet. You guys were burning CDs. It was like a sweatshop down there
Were we?
of internet.
No, that was at my parents' actual house.
No,
not
that
at
was
my
at your
Yeah,
nan's.
where you
nan's
were
place.
raised.
I think it was at your nan's place when you guys were nan living. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's the computer that stayed at my nan's place. It was 400 pounds. There was no internet. No, when my parents moved to their place on Trafalgar, they had like a new computer set up, and I'd go over there and do the Napster thing and fucking burn the CDs. But that only lasted for like 4 weeks of grade 9, and then I just never went back to their house again.
Not even for Christmas. No, that's fair. Okay.
No, fuck
I had
that.
this like discussion with our buddy the other night. Shoutouts to G. Fucking rad punk dude we've all known forever. Mike kind of hates him. They have history.
Of love and hate.
No. Had. Well, yeah, had. I don't hate G.
Yeah.
I think G's all right.
Anyway, we were listening to
It's a
some.
suck-fuck
I wish I
relationship.
knew him. I wish I knew him years ago, and I didn't just like.
This might change your.
have distaste
That might
for
change your
him.
tune.
Okay.
We were listening to some band, and he's like, "How have you never heard of this band?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "I don't know, man. Like, it just like slipped through the radar." I think it was Gang of Four. That's who we were listening to. I'm like, yeah, I know who they are.
No fucking...
I like them, but like I didn't listen to them as like a fucking kid.
Yeah.
And he's like, "How did you get through that? How'd you do that?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. Like I had CDs, and I had like friends that had CDs, and I'd like make a tape of them.
Yeah.
Like that's how I learned bands in the late '90s, early 2000s."
Oh, yeah.
And then he just went on this tyrant of like, well, I had the internet, and I just like downloaded,
Whatever I
CDs,
wanted.
and I researched bands, and I was like really like excited and learned so much stuff about punk and who like influenced who and who did all that. And I was like, look at this guy stinking of privilege that had
Yeah.
internet in the late
You
90s.
smell that?
Yeah, that could like
Late 90s
Google
internet
all the
privilege.
members of Black Flag and
Yeah.
what other bands they were in. Like I didn't have that.
No, I had the linear notes, motherfucker.
Yeah, like I looked up.
Yeah, that was it.
That
The
was
only
literally
time
how
you
I
ever
found
heard about
bands.
other bands.
Read the linear
was, like,
notes.
from your friends or from
Yeah,
CDs.
or your
Read
friends
the
had
like
CDs.
thank you section in the linear notes, and they just list a bunch of bands, and then go to CD Plus and ask for those bands. Like that's how I found
Or
it.
like every once in a while, a CD would come with like a catalog for the fucking label,
Yeah.
and it would have other bands on
Uh-huh.
that label, and you could like
Yeah.
send them $40, and they'd send you 4
That's the
CDs.
way it worked.
That's how she
That's
did.
how I did it.
Yeah.
I didn't have the goddamn internet to look up fucking
No.
Keith Morris and
And-
all the bands he was in, and then like, oh, I was up on that guy real early. It's like I didn't do that. I have no idea.
Even I also feel like
Oh, it came later.
It came later,
It
but
did, but then even when it came later,
But to
Yeah.
like fucking shame me for not knowing who Gang of Four was in
Yeah.
2001, like get out of here.
Well, he's a cuck.
Yeah,
He's a cuck. I still like him. I like him again.
He's
but
great.
He's a cuck.
He's great,
like
but he's a
we-
cuck.
But you remember though, like we finally got the internet in the early thousands, and
Yeah.
then fucking we downloaded a fucking Metallica
Oh.
Enter Sandman song on Napster and got fucking booted off of it.
Fucking Lars Ulrich
So-
mailed letters to our house.
Yeah, thanks, Lars. So that was then we had to go back to
Wow.
buying records and
Yeah.
albums again. And I'm
Fucking
sure I've said this
Lars.
before on the show, but like when I worked at Zeller's, I would just fucking every week, every Tuesday, I would go to the CD Plus and buy a new
Yeah.
punk CD, and that was instead
That's
of
what I did.
Napster. And like I got some like Wagon Blaze, like No Effects
Uh-huh.
Ribbed,
I had this good
Rancid,
streak.
fucking Life Won't Wait, like so many Lars and all the Lars and the Bastards albums I
Yeah.
bought in those
those
Tuesday
days.
nights.
I remember this is like a few years after the Zellers days. Like I was already like well into like liking punk music, and this is what I like. But I went to college with this really fucking cool girl, and we had a tradition of every Friday, let's go to Sunrise and buy an album from a band that we know, but we haven't really given them the attention.
Ooh.
And it wasn't like let's just buy random fucking CDs.
Spice Girls.
But it was like that's when I bought my first Strung Out CD. That's when I bought my first Swinging Utters CD. It's like I know who this band is. I've heard them on comps. They're rad.
Yeah, but I've never.
But
wanted to seek them out.
I've never really, deep dived. And I'm gonna go buy Juvenile, Product of a Working Class. I'm gonna go buy that CD today. Like I've heard of it,
Best one.
but it was
Best
just a
one.
cool like every Friday. Let's go to Sunrise and spend $13 on a CD.
Yeah, yeah.
We had totally different tastes in music.
Yeah,
We're
I
not
had
sharing,
I had
but
I had a kid in school would give me like his name was Matt. He lived in Milton, and he would give me like his old CDs that he just didn't give a shit about anymore.
Yeah.
That was another,
Yeah.
like that
Less-
was I
less
heard about
hair
a bunch
than
of
letters
bands
in
that
his
I listen
name.
to still.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey?
Said less hair than letters in his name.
Oh yeah, that was the Matt for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, and then I banged his girlfriend for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But I mean, he was a nice guy.
No.
I didn't do it like against
Yeah,
her
you
or
did.
anything.
You cucked them.
Wasn't to
Call
him.
me Matt.
I wasn't banging
Yeah.
her to him.
Call me Matt. Call me Matt.
It's close. It's
Fucking
close.
Mike the Bull.
I'll take
All
it.
right. Well, should we wrap this up?
Yeah, we could wrap this up. We could wrap this up with like talking about
Sure.
punk music and giving a plug again to Bike Thieves, Toronto punk band that.
Fuck yeah.
Or we could just wrap it up.
Okay, we can just wrap it up. Never mind. Just send.
Yeah, they're not paying
Send us nudes.
Yeah,
Don't send any. No
send
nudes.
us more free songs, Bike Thieves. Thank you.
We're still waiting for nudes.
We're still waiting on nudes,
Jesus
Bike Thieves.
Christ, Brian.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
We'll take dick pics, Mr. Nudes, anything.
Whatever.
Send them.
Whatever.
Actually, don't. No,
Just
no.
blanket nudes. We just want nudes.
All right. Well, until next week. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Fuck yourself, cunt.
Thanks everybody for tuning in this week. We are Pretty Much Experts. You can check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. While you're at it, go have a look at our Facebook page. You can ask an expert any time of day or night, whatever you like. And if you're into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. We want to hear from you, baby. Thanks again, everybody. Tune in next week. We are Pretty Much Experts, and we love you, I guess.